Crisis and visitor attraction management. Crisis management. Understanding crisis. A crisis is an event or circumstance which brings about major upheaval and difficulty to an established norm of society and life. They can take many forms, both natural and human-made. Some common examples include natural disasters, earthquakes, hurricanes, floods, fires, disease outbreaks, etc. Human conflict, war, civil unrest, crime. Economic factors, sudden fluctuations, recessions. Susceptibility to crisis differs from market to market, but the travel and tourism industry can be especially adversely affected by crises. Understanding tourism crises. For the tourism industry specifically, a basic definition of crisis is as follows. A crisis is any circumstance that has a strongly adverse impact upon popular perceptions of a destination, thus deterring tourists and stopping the market from operating as usual. Some other things to keep in mind here are: crises are usually unexpected, but they can arise from long-term, predictable trends. Mostly, crises in tourism are about consumer confidence, just as much as physical or infrastructural damage. Crisis management methods. The principal aim of crisis management is to return the market to normalcy by getting tourists to come back to the destination and spend as quickly and efficiently as possible. Crisis management schemes are necessary to retain consumer confidence in the industry or destination, limiting the adverse effects of the crisis. In all kinds of crises, crisis management centers on communication. It is also enhanced by promotions or marketing, ensuring safety and security, market research. The actions taken for crisis management depend on the timeline of a crisis, that is, before, during, and after. Let's look at these individually. Before crisis. The best way to reduce the impacts of a crisis is preparedness. Crisis communication strategy. A crisis management plan for worst-case scenario. Resources, chain of command, duty assignment, emergency contacts, potential collaboration networks, crisis practice schemes. Designate and train spokespeople. Communication needs to be direct, authoritative, and consistent. Establish a communications department and broadcast strategy. Training employees to deal with the media and partners through different forms of communication. Media communication. Good relations with the media before a crisis will help with favorable coverage. Media awareness also helps with predicting crises. Train crisis preparedness among all staff. Promotion planning. Industry partner database and contact. Other companies in your industry need to cooperate to keep up-to-date information on tourist supply and demand. Honest and ethical promotion. Good marketing should establish credibility and confidence that will outlast a crisis. Set aside emergency resources. Specific warnings. Blanket warnings can increase panic. Improve communication of security issues to tourists. Concisely communicate useful information to tourists where it is readily available. Reviewing security systems. Maintain relations between safety or security-focused governmental departments. Contribute to defining security procedures and standards. Raise tourism-specific issues. Establish a national tourism safety and security focal point, tourism police and emergency call centers. Specific security and safety training for local personnel. Research readiness. Monitor hospital cases and crime involving tourists. During crisis. When managing a crisis, the first 24 hours are the most critical period. Communication, internal and external. Full disclosure of the facts. Transparency and honesty, not speculation and categorical reassurances. Maintain communication. Avoid media blackouts to contribute to the narrative. Networking plus media centers. The media needs somewhere to field questions and gain information, so provide a headquarters with full facilities. Act fast. Answer the main questions who, what, where, when, why, as quickly and effectively as possible. Show compassion. Crises affect everyone, so tact is needed. Goodwill gestures can be PR opportunities too. Contextualize the crisis, highlight positives. Use factual information to ease fears of a destination. Promotional decisions. Directly communicate with partners or trade industry. Do not allow intermediaries to control the narrative. Alter promotional messages. Update marketing to address protecting safety concerns. Maintain planned promotions and events. Show the industry is continuing and the destination is secure. Seek and provide governmental funds. Governments need to protect tourism with incentives and initiatives, for example, free visas, tax breaks. Ensuring security. Hotlines. Establish emergency call centers that can answer important questions and ease problems. Monitor policy and media reports. Coordinate with security services and media. Overcoming crisis risks. After the immediate crisis has passed, your priority must be making sure that consumer confidence is rebuilt. You can do this with the following guidelines. Image-building communications. Proactively communicate and use positive news. Seek to show a recovery plan and business as usual. Use your communication channels to provide news. Use journalists and social media influencers for promotion. Use public figures to show tourists are back. Crisis anniversaries. Use these moments to show recovery and remembrance. Legal. Use legal action to ensure information is accurate or positive, and to protect from lawsuits. Flexible promotions. Targeted marketing. Seek high-value and special interest tourists with niche products, for example, skiing, golfing. Discounting. Special offers can attract customers to regain consumer confidence. Focus on most profitable markets abroad and promote domestic tourism. Domestic tourism can prop up the loss of less profitable international tourism. Collaborative marketing. Different agencies and companies should align messaging to show stability and consistency. Lobby governments. Governmental advice can advise against your destination, so try to encourage revaluation. Survey market perceptions. Find out what consumers think now. Future security. Re-evaluate security procedures. Make sure security is not too restrictive. Improve quality. Ensure services or infrastructure are the best they can be. Visitor attraction management. Definitions. Despite the centrality of visitor or tourist attractions to the industry as a whole, visitor attractions are difficult to pin down as a concept. In the purest sense, visitor attractions are anything that attracts visitors to a destination. More technical definitions, from national and international tourism boards, use further distinguishing features. These include primary purposes, entertainment, interest, and education. Established and accessible to the public. A single business, or under single management, generating revenue from visitors. Categories. As with attempts to find definitions, there is little consensus on how to categorize visitor attractions because they are so diverse. One useful way of categorizing visitor attractions is with 4 categories: historical, cultural, historic sites, religious sites, museums, galleries, etc. Environmental, countryside, parks, animal attractions. Entertainment, leisure and recreation complexes, amusement parks, themed retailers, workplace and activity visit centers. Miscellaneous, piers, themed transport. Thinking about tangible and intangible components is also helpful for classifying attractions. We also use the following features: physical characteristics, nature of operation, type of business, product, size, ownership, market orientation. Purpose, tourism specific versus general. Pressures within visitor attraction management. There are numerous pressures that visitor attractions face as a tourism market matures. These include shifting demand, long-term changes in the demographics of tourist populations, their rising expectations, and changing leisure patterns all affect consumer life cycles. Competition. The growing attractions sector and leisure economy has not benefited all visitor attractions equally. Businesses need to offer competitive products. Regulation. Government legislation about employment closely impacts visitor attractions, as regulations can change allowed wages, working hours, and patterns. Stakeholder expectations. Different groups, like investors, customers, local residents, have interests in what happens at a visitor attraction, so businesses need to be adaptable to meet varied expectations. Management responses. There are 6 key areas of management responsibilities: product investment, partnerships, marketing, visitor management, revenue management, HRM. With effective management in each of these responsibilities, visitor attractions will be able to overcome the challenges they face. Let's examine these individually. Product investment. Investment is increasingly supplying, not demand-driven. Management must focus on product development, diversification, repositioning, and acquisition strategies. Partnerships. Strategic partnerships or collaborations with other businesses, usually with marketing activities, can raise the profile of entire destinations. Marketing. Modern marketing and promotional activities are all about using data to build your profile. Visitor management. This is about balancing between attracting as many valuable customers as possible without sacrificing safety or quality. Many management techniques here revolve around controlling supply and demand issues. Revenue management. The earnings of an attraction need to be optimized, meaning costs are low and incomes are high. HRM. Professional management of staff is necessary to tackle economic issues of the tourism industry, for example, seasonality, lack of training, and part-time work.